Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to episode 25 of Into the Nexus, the Heroes of the Storm podcast. I am Garrett Weinzierl, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. We had to have the MMR reset, though, so, man, Heroes has been a little rough this week.
Are you talking about our game last night that went almost 40 minutes when it could have been decided 20 minutes earlier?
No, that was just indecisive players.
Indecisive is giving the people we were paired with a little too much credit.
It was over, but they refused to get mercs, I guess, was the problem.
So that people don't think we're like elitist on this show.
Okay.
I want to take everyone through our game last night. We are 20 plus minutes into the game. We're probably past the 30-minute mark at this point because we were like level 26. It was ridiculous. We were level 26. I haven't had a game go this long in a long time. And, all right, what happens at level 26? I don't care if you have never, if you've had 5 minutes of MOBA experience. You should assume that laid into whatever the game is, that you should probably stick together. Yet the other three people on our team decided to just wander wherever they fancied that late into the game and just kept getting picked off. But you and I were playing well enough that the other team really never got a leg up. But it just took forever to close out the match because of that.
I can only assume that there were two issues. One, Stitches. Stitches is, in other games, a serious carry that is going to win games single-handedly and able to snipe single players. Stitches in this game, huge survivability, not so much ability to kill a single man all by himself. So we had a Stitches off all by himself most of the game.
Yeah, and honestly, compared to some of the other warriors, I have a much easier time killing him.
And then it's Blackheart's Bay. So over the course of the game, we were so far ahead that actually we ended up getting behind because it cost too many coins to actually fire the cannon and win us the game.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that is very true. Had our team played even remotely correctly, we could have taken out a couple other forts without use of the cannon, and then our coins would have gone a lot further. But
so it was this weird sort of anti-snowballing, not letting the game end. But the other team, I've given props, man. You know, they were dedicated.
They held on. At no point did I feel like I had broken their will when I feel like I should have.
No, and I play in a very sort of particular way that keeps me happy. And what I do is I enjoy the MOBA, and then if I am ultimately losing, stuck in my base, I switch my thought process into thinking this is now a base defense game, a hero defense, and I'm just here to have a good time for as long as I can live. And they clearly had a similar mindset.
My brain immediately goes to, this is lost, let's lose so we can move on to the next game. Thank you, good day.
No way. See, those other people, they're going to think you're a loser.
No, well, I'm not saying that I just sit in the
I know
fountain,
you don't, because we would
but
have words. I would call you out on the show.
I begrudgingly do what you do, but I'm not enjoying it like you are.
Right, my goal is more for them to say, man, we wiped the floor with them. But that Tassadar, he was something special.
That's like the other day we lost that game. I don't even remember what it was, but I just remember saving, I think it was a Vala from a triple tap, and just like, you know what? We lost this game, but I felt like a badass for about 2 seconds. So whatever. Little victories. Little victories.
Keeps you happy.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, we have been reset thoroughly. The MMR is completely wiped. And that also means all those wonderful people who enjoy calling the game in the first 5 minutes and AFKing in the fountain are back in my list. The friends list was wiped, along with my rather substantial ban list. So that's back as well, hearing from people that sometimes I go, who is that? Why is this guy playing? Oh, I've already banned him in the past. Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to a commend system on top of our ban system, because I want to be able to say people are fun as well as dumb.
Yeah, I like that a lot. You know, we've talked about it, what we like about Dota, and that's really high on the list. And something that I don't see any reason can't be applied to this game. But I was going to say, you kind of just got to deal with that hiccup when you're playing this early into the game's life. We just have to deal with it if we want it to be on the live servers, which it now is. So there's really no way around it. So.
Yep, I hope the middle ground is a great place when people finally do get to join this game, and the levers system is well in place, or those people have been filtered all the way to the bottom, so you really have to, be an ass, or lose a whole lot to end up in their particular bunker. On top of that, the new Nova, man, that is some pain.
Dude,
I have not seen an opponent or a teammate not pick the 300% slower attacks, 300% more damage talent.
Yeah, I've been playing Vala a little bit this week because we came to the decision that you and I going into a game with me as Arthas and you as Tassadar just isn't enough, because it never gives us somebody who can actually heal. It just says, "Oh, Tassadar, cool, we're done."
Right, and you could do like a damaged Tassadar build, but it's more a contribution to a team that already has a good build. And if I want to do Tassadar, like, I really need someone who's willing to, be super squishy, like a Vala. It works perfectly.
Right, exactly. So, and playing as Vala, Nova's horrifying, because Vala doesn't have a whole lot of hit points. Granted, neither does Nova. But I've never been so afraid for my life playing Vala as I have post-patch.
Well, and really, the getting ganked or just destroyed by a Zeratul is something of beauty. And I really respect players who can pull that off, particularly when they sneak all the way around the back and they're like in your tower line and just being ridiculous, ganking you while you're behind walls and stuff like that. Applause to you guys. But there's something about that talent that I'm not going to call, nerf it or anything like that quite yet. But when you think about 300% slower attack speed, but that doesn't matter at all if it's your very first attack. So you snipe, you fire, you use, maybe the talent to instantly refresh all your talents, snipe again, and by the time that happens, you're ready to fire again. There's no real load up time or aiming time that's associated with a 300% increase, and it is 330%, I believe. So don't go sending me mail because I'm getting that 30% off.
Yeah, that being said, I still respect Nova players. I mean, it's very easy to miss their skill shots. They're incredibly narrow. It's not like you're trying to snipe them with the upgraded Sentinel off of Tyrande or something. This is one of the smallest skill shots in the entire game. So
very true. That decoy change where you can now get the one on top of yourself.
Me insane.
There's suddenly 3 Novas when you're chasing her. It is real. Granted, with time.
And they have AI. They have AI, so they flee. And frequently in a very similar direction as the actual Nova. Anytime this happens, anytime Nova takes that talent, I start to have, it's like having a mini stroke. I'm losing my damn mind. I don't know. I just last night, we played a few games and we had a Nova. We were playing against Nova every single game, and every single one of those games, the Nova took that talent. And by the end of it, I felt like I started to get a good idea of how to identify the real Nova. But man, those first couple games, I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, so. I feel like Conan up in that crystal tower, and the wizards are, which one's the real one?
Yeah, except it holds up, and I believe everything I'm seeing, as opposed to laughing at how poorly this movie still holds together.
Yeah, I think that's more because, well, it's practical effects, which I love. I got to give props to that. But I think it's more our mental issue of current day that particular monster / wizard is kind of chubby. And nowadays you watch an old, movie, and sure, they've got a big arm. They're the buff hero, but it's not defined. It's not chiseled by the gods like our current action heroes. And we go, well, this is kind of half-assed, isn't it?
This is off topic, but to continue this conversation, but I'm all for practical effects too, but I like good practical effects. I'll watch The Thing over and over, but man, Conan just doesn't hold up. I'm sorry. Just, yeah. And it wasn't a movie that I was allowed to watch at a young age, so I didn't see it young enough to have nostalgia for it.
Oh, no, I didn't see it either. That's because there were random boobs.
Yeah. Yet for some reason, my dad made me watch Aliens when I was 7. I had nightmares for months.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
Have you gotten to play the new game? While we're off topic here?
No, I haven't. I'll get to it eventually, but I've heard really mixed things.
Yeah, well, fanboys are going to love it, and I'm happy for them that they got a decent Aliens game.
I'm a huge fanboy, and I'm still trepidatious. Alien, I think, is one of the greatest science fiction things ever. But, yeah. Anywho, there's a lot of news to talk about this week, so let's get into it.
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven giving up this place!
Can stitches play now?
Yeah, I love it when... Oh, cigar fell in the... Oh, wait!
By far my favorite variant of the news intro. It was Azmodan week, so Blizzard just let a waterfall of info and tips and tricks and insight into designing Azmodan, how to play Azmodan, and weird little side stuff about Azmodan just pour over us. So there's a lot to talk about. I mean, we got our usual developer insight. We got a new trailer, and obviously it was the Hero Week, so it's just stuff trickling out all week.
Definitely the most serious trailer we've gotten.
Yeah, but it's Diablo. Diablo is probably has the least amount of joy in it of the three major Blizzard IPs.
That's very true. Wow, it's like, these monkey men were formed when they ate too much spice and farted. Whereas in Diablo, the same monkey men would be forged from the sins of 7,000 monkeys on drugs while they flipped out.
They were skinned alive and then put back together 3 separate times. And they inflict that agony of those 3 times skinning tenfold, which is really 30-fold when you do the math. I'm Daryl in a creepy voice.
I love that Middle Eastern guy who's doing the stuff all through the second act.
Oh, yeah. He's always talking about how...
once I was in Chaldeum.
And my assistant was torn apart in front of me.
Well, who knew? And you're you. Delightful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in the first act, too. But you hear a lot of him from when you're in the desert. Anywho.
Hey, in the trailer, Jaina spotted.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Barely, though. At, 42 seconds? You can see a purple cloak and the staff kind of off to the side. So they're continuing to sneak her into everything.
We know Jaina's coming down the pipeline at some point.
Sure, it's just a company joke at this point.
Yeah. Anyways, Trickslayer and John got together for the developer insight and did some Q&A. Trickslayer asked, everyone loves to talk about the talent system, so let's hear about some of his options. Anything in particular really stand out that you would recommend to a first-time Azmodan? I wish he had said Azmodaner. To which John replied, players have already been forming up some awesome talent builds, and here's what I'd recommend to the current form. So we got folks at Blizzard just telling, try this, which I like. They said, for straightforward pushing power, I like to take as many summon demon warrior upgrades as I can. He takes Army of Hell for demons, Enduring Warriors to make them last longer, and Blazing Demons to help them cut through enemy troops.
It really does speak well to this game that you can have these ideas with stacking talents, but there's still enough choice in between that you can get a couple emergency picks in, should you be behind or need something particular. Particularly when I play Tassadar, I love to do this build where first I get shields, make sure they're nice and good. Whenever you auto-attack, you get some health back, and then get it where whenever shields expire, they don't inspire, they last forever, but you only get half the actual potency. So people like Vala standing in the back the whole time can get quite a bit of health doing it. But along the way, there's, healing wards and, mule and stuff like that you might need in an emergency.
Yeah, it is cool. I like these flavor type builds, and I've been hearing some, not so exciting things about Azmodan from the pro scene this week. But I don't know. I've still.
Oh, like what?
Nothing. Just that guys are kind of tooling around, and he's just not quite there compared to what's out there. I personally, I'm just like, well, he's new. You haven't been able to play with him as much, so. I mean, how do you?
Right,
how do
he
you
is
really
lacking
know?
all modes of escape.
Yeah. It's not a 1-to-1, obviously, but a lot of the same crap happened when Curse of Naxxramas came out for Hearthstone. These new cards came out, and it's like, well, I don't know if this one's really going to work, but it's like, oh, wait, well, it's a secret. I don't like secrets, but there's a card that gives me secrets for free, so apparently this is playable now. I just didn't realize it until I really got in there and tried it out. And John went on to talk about some other builds. I'm not going to go one for one through all of them here, but you should go check it out. I did like he talked about building Azmodan as a brawler, which your first time trying out Azmodan is definitely not something that kind of comes to mind. He seems like a big ranged kind of add creeps to the push type hero. But he said if you went for Gluttony, First Aid, Black Pool, March of Sin, Blood for Blood, and Fifth Circle, that Azmodan can really just get in the shit and throw down as well as anyone else.
Everything's looking real good. Like I said last week, I love the way the demons crawl out of the portals, particularly the generals. The only thing I have graphically wrong with him is the black pool. It's a little small from what I remember running from in Diablo, but
Well, it's also a balance. I was about to say it's a balance thing. I still would not mind a little overhaul to Arthas at some point and give me Defile, because when I think fighting Arthas in WoW, I think Defile.
So would that replace his Tempest around him?
I don't know. He's very good. I'm not sure what I would take out to put in. In my head, I'm just like, man, it would have been cool if, I would love to see that mechanic on someone else. Put something on the ground that gets bigger the longer your enemy stands in it and takes damage.
Ooh, you know what you could do? That'd be real cool. Make his master's skin ghouls, Valkyries.
Oh, so when he does Army of the Dead, they're Valkyries?
Yeah.
That would be dope.
And they carry you off the map and throw you
or what if it was all the people he's killed? What if it's like a little small undead Uther, a little small undead King Tyrannus, and
that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty dope. I'd be down for that.
I'm getting excited about a lot of those things, and it's adding a lot more value to those particular skins. What they did last week with the Tychus, upgrading both his Odin and his laser bit, I'm just expecting more now.
Oh yeah, from different skins and whatnot. I agree. But continuing forward with Azmodan, obviously they wanted to talk about the two options for heroics and in what scenarios they'd be best at. John said that Azmodan's first heroic ability is Demonic Invasion, with the demons raining down from the sky, they deal damage on impact and then get up and attack nearby enemies. He said it's awesome for laying siege to a fort due to the demons dealing extra damage to minions and structures, soaking up a ton of ammo, and gaining all the benefits of Azmodan's General of the Hell trait. It also makes taking a mercenary camp solo a simple affair, including boss-level camps. However, Demonic Invasion can be a little flat in team fights. The demons can occasionally block a skill shot and gum up enemy hero movement, but in general, I think this ability is best in a PvE scenario. And from what little I played around with Azmodan, I agree with that.
One of the greatest powers of it is just getting sight over a wall.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I would like to not blow a heroic on that. I might prefer, like a Tassadar for that type of thing.
Well, yes, we all can't be Tassadar, though. I personally feel quite spoiled whenever I play anything else because of the popularity of Zeratools and Novas right now. I keep hitting, D and going, where? But where's my see everything button? This guy's broken.
That's very true. I mean, yeah, you're getting sight on the other side, and you're also kind of causing a ton of havoc while you're doing it, so it's not so bad. But yeah.
It was surprising. It was this last patch, I believe, where they added body blocking to summon creeps, as well as the merc camps. And when that first happened, there were a couple times I got stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had the same issue. I've died in scenarios that I thought I could have gotten out of easily. Anyways, Azmodan's second ability, Black Pool, John said, is the much more subtle pick, but extremely powerful when used well. He can create multiple black pools that nearly doubles the damage dealt by himself and his army, minions, mercs, and his summon demons, while standing in the pools. With enough of your army soaking in pools, enemy fortifications can be destroyed lightning quick, particularly if the pools are empowering powerful units like siege giants and catapults. As for Azmodan himself, John said that he's found the boosting power of Globe of Annihilation, All Shall Burn, and his basic attacks really catches enemy players off guard with the amount of damage being dished out. I, for one, can say I've been on the receiving end of this, and yes, I have been caught off guard as well as incited to cussing the paint off the walls.
His laser beam hurts, and I'm excited to try it. I'm a big fan of the stand to do more damage build in anywhere. I love that they have things like that for WoW mages now. They sadly took it away for Diablo wizards in the last expansion, but it was a little powerful.
Yeah. And finally, Trick Slayers asked, it's exciting to see another hero from the Diablo universe. The Heroes community often wonders if we can count on seeing more heroes from the Diablo franchise. Maybe someone like Deckard Cain in the future? Yes! I think he listens. John said, well, let's just say there are many more Diablo heroes and villains in the works at varying stages of development. We've seen a lot of community and internal requests for characters like the Necromancer, Imperius, the Monk, and of course, the Lasser Rodrum himself. You'll just have to stay a while and listen for news in the future. Oh, you, John, you're a man after my own heart.
Oh, you. Squeeze that in there. Yeah, of course
there.
they're working on it. And they didn't mention the Wizard, interestingly enough. But
if they put a Necromancer in here before I get a Necromancer in actual goddamn Diablo 3, I'm going to be a very unhappy man.
Oh, come on. Like, if it wasn't a big enough deal that, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, there's going to be another expansion. Diablo kind of escaped again. Big story reveal. But also the fact that while you're going through that entire last act, there's Lilith and what's-his-face just chatting up a storm about how nothing is over yet. There's going to be plenty more, and I'm hoping they add the Necromancer. I'm interested about the Monk because we really need a Diablo support right now. And I'm wondering if the Monk with a bit of healing power in Diablo might fill that role.
I'd be in for that. I'm not even sure. I think the email's in here today. People we'll be talking a little more about the distribution of heroes from different franchises a little bit later. Anywho, moving on. By the way, if you haven't seen all of this, there's even more. We kind of just hit the highlights. Go check out the full-on developer insight. If you haven't watched the trailer, go see if you can play Spot the Jaina. And
at 42 seconds.
Yeah, as we move on into other news, the Invite a Friend contest, which is going on. And if you're not in this, pay attention. This is a bit exciting. If you're not in yourself, you can enter. All you have to do is head over to the Facebook page. There's a form you can fill out. It's under Bring Your Friends to the Brawl app. You submit your Battle.net email address, and apparently 4,000 entries will be chosen at random to get into the Heroes of the Storm Tech Alpha. And apparently for those of us, you and me, Kyle, who already have Tech Alpha access, if we reach player level 20 between Tuesday, October 7th and Tuesday, November 18th, we'll be automatically entered into a random drawing in which thousands of us will be selected to invite all of our BattleTag and Real ID friends to join us in the Tech Alpha.
It's a very creative little strategy to get people who currently, might be avoiding the game because it's not out or they're not playing with their friends yet to be getting back in there and testing it out.
What if I'm already past level 20 before the date of almost over a week ago?
They didn't mention that, but I'm sure you're good. That'd be ridiculous if, nope, you played too much.
Sorry.
You,
sir, enjoy this game too much. You're not allowed to bring your friends.
Clearly, you don't need friends to play this game. So your friends will not be invited. Sadly, they did make a special caveat to it that it'll be your friends list as of today. So of this announcement, I cannot add a whole bunch of you to my friends list, which I was hoping to do.
I'm selling slots on my friends list, just so you know. It's a $20 a slot, and I can guarantee you I am over level 20, but I can't guarantee I'll be selected. Non-refundable.
I know. I was like, who needs a friend, Twitter? And no, sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Fine print, bitch. Oh, that's great. This is really cool. This is among probably the most fun ways that they've done. They've dished out, beta, or in this case, alpha access than in the past. And this obviously stops people from running the eBay to auction off crap. Because, oh man, the having done a couple really large giveaways in the past, Hearthstone beta, things can get real hairy. So it's like, I got like 100 to give away. That's awesome. But how many of these people are just going to take it and sell it? Oh, well.
Right. You want to make sure it gets to the most passionate people, but you got to keep it random because it's a giveaway.
Exactly. And also, once you like go above like 5 things to give away, if it's anything other than random, it becomes a nightmare to deal with. So, anywho, head over to Facebook, enter if you're not already in the Tech Alpha. And if you are already in the Tech Alpha, get your butt to 20. Help your friends. Let's help them get in. Let's go.
And you can do this in addition to your sign up on Battle.net.
Yes. Yes, you can. That's actually a good point to bring up. I didn't even think about that. Lily changes are on the horizon. This is also according to Trick Slayer, who said, just wanted to stop by and address some concerns with the latest Lily nerfs. we're prepping her for some potential changes that should be hitting the game with a future patch. In particular, we'll be targeting her heroics and attempting to give her some more fleshed out talents. We hope the rework will yield strong results similar to what we saw with Nova and her latest changes. In fact, most older heroes will continue to be iterated upon as we continue to develop Heroes of the Storm. So, yay, Lily.
Oh, so that's what you were struggling with there.
Yeah,
It's like, where's he about to go? Oh, no, never mind. We're just trashing on Lily here.
just don't like her.
I'm a little surprised that it is a Lily-specific change. The way things were working with all the healer nerfs over the last couple patches, I was expecting some sort of, weird, number squish or healing inflation rate or something internal to happen that would affect healers overall. But this is an effect just to Lily. I'm interested to know if they're going to be changing up her easy status.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the big thing for me. I don't find her fun to play, and I don't find her fun to play against.
Well, you know me. I'm a monsters guy. I want to play as the ugliest thing on the field.
Well, that's true. Yeah, from a flavor aspect, I have no interest in being the little child panda.
Yeah.
But even from a non-flavor aspect, it's just, I don't know. I don't just like smashing Q. And when I'm playing against her, at least like when someone else gets away, I'm like, good on you. You're good at playing that hero. But her, I'm just like, well, you get a speed boost when I do anything to you. So I guess you're really good at clicking in the opposite direction.
That being said, I love having all the cups on my side. And there has been a couple times where the dragon has just completely owned me.
Yeah. It's that's a good point. I don't respect the dragon at all, and it shows in how often it kills me. It's like, the dragon, cool. I don't care.
Well, you see it go off, and you're just like, whatever. I'm just going to keep hacking
it's
on
like,
this wall.
This isn't an Abathur. I'm fine. Oh, God, this hurts. So, yeah, it's fun.
Interesting to see what happens to her.
Yeah, no, keep an eye on it. And that's a good point. I don't mind having one on my team. I just don't personally like playing her. Also, just a side note here, Radial all chat has been snuck in with the last patch. So you can hold down Z and emote something that the opposing team can see. So this is how you can say GG to the opposing team.
Right, and everything you select right now says GG. There are other options. They all say GG to the enemy team. Eventually, I'm expecting some sort of voiceover to carry with this. It used to be when they first put out the radio menu for the Y that you could speak to your own team with, it would be accompanied by some sort of voiceover from the character. Right now, all the voiceovers have been disabled. So I'm interested to see how that's going to look like sound like when we come back, because that was one of the most heavily requested features at any of the BlizzCons coming up to this point. Is I want to hear Illidan talk at Malfurion when he kills him, and right now it's all turned off. By the way, one of the old videos from 2011 was circling around of the Heroes of the Storm build back then, and I watched it, and this game looks real good compared to the thrown together StarCraft mod that it was going to be originally.
Agreed, and I was still really excited for it back then.
Yeah.
But by comparison, holy crap, man. Originally it was like going to look like a chessboard, and like I was like, yeah, freaking chessboard with turrets, let's do this.
All right, cool, yeah. It probably would have just gone in that nice little Ire Chef pile right there next to Left to Die.
Yeah, next to all the other things I never played. Except I did play Left to Die once with you and then never touched it again.
Right, and I played the Bejeweled StarCraft a couple times, but I am not good at that sort of game.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Obviously we have the radial menu in Hearthstone. It adds a lot of flavor because it's very specific to whatever class you're currently playing. Mm-hmm. It's that hero's voice and whatnot. And nothing makes me feel better than when I'm playing my hunter and I get an angry chicken from my web spinner and I throw down the angry chicken and I taunt my opponent.
Sure. I'm a Jiraxis fan, so I love every option I get.
Even when he dies, I can't be mad because that scream is just absurd.
Because I got to play him. That's why I'm happy.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm sure we'll get like a good luck, have fun. We're going to have like a beginning of the game emote. We're going to have an end of the game emote. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a few taunts or something in there. Just hopefully you can't spam it because in Hearthstone, obviously, it's much easier to just squelch the person across from you because there's only one person to deal with. and
Right.
it's not like if you take the second it takes to squelch them, it's not going to screw up your game. In this game, if I'm like bringing up tab to mute everyone, that's going to be a problem.
With how hard they're saying, though, they're working on the levers jail, I'm expecting soon after release, we're going to have a pretty good sense of where we are and who we're playing with.
Yeah. Yeah. I trust it. I think they'll do a good job with that too. So, we are, what, as of Thursday, 3 weeks away from BlizzCon?
Yeah.
Well, today is Thursday as we record this. So 1, 2, 4 weeks. No, 3 weeks. Sorry. Yeah. We're 3 weeks away from BlizzCon. We know there's panels coming up and lots of esports, but we finally got some of the rosters this week for the teams that'll be playing in the tournament there. We got the roster from Cloud9, which I don't recognize any of these people from previous games.
Nope, but they are pretty much all old League players from their teams. And we've seen almost none of them in the smaller tournaments that have been going on, casted by Caldor and others.
Right. The one I was most interested in was Team Liquid.
Sure.
So we have Chef, StarCraft fan. We have Dunk Train, who actually casted the what was that? Just already too many leagues for me to remember what they're all called, but he was casting one of those.
Sure, it was another acronym, so it's understandable that you might forget.
Acronym.
Oh, acronym? What am I trying to say?
No, acronym. You're right.
Okay.
I think technically they're initialisms, but yeah.
Ooh, initialisms. Nice. Very well. Either way, esports is full of them. If you want to get into esports, prepare to see things shortened and have things called leagues. Almost
everything will end in L, and that probably means league.
Right? And words like exclusive and most awesome. No, it's use more professional things than that. But they definitely try to make it sound like the one and only. Global. Yeah. What? It takes place in 2 countries. Well, I guess it's global.
Anyways, also biceps, caffeine, and piths. I have no idea how to pronounce picks. I'm going to call them picks. That's your
biceps,
Team Liquid.
Cool name. Doesn't work well with liquid, though.
Liquid biceps?
Liquid biceps. Doesn't really communicate strength, in my opinion. Liquid caffeine, sure.
Maybe just TL biceps. We'll just call them TL biceps.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds nice.
There you go. Liquid biceps. That's why I didn't even think about that. Because that is totally how we name the.
It's what you see when your grandma waves at you is liquid biceps.
Oh God, that's terrible. That's. Stop it.
My grandma's not a bodybuilder. She's not insulted. She's 92. I called my grandparents this week to wish them a happy 66th anniversary. They're mad. Just keep on living. Such badasses.
I hope I am so lucky.
Me too.
I hope I am in there at that old age ruining someone's Heroes game. And at that point, sir, Lily will be my favorite hero.
I was just about to do that for you. My reaction times are down, so I play Lily. I don't use a keyboard, just drinking birds.
God. You took that so much further than I was going to, and I'm the one that likes to keep this hate joke going.
It's because it's all originated on you. I'm just joining on the fun,
Yeah.
No one can blame me for it.
Yeah. And then Fnatic, which we talked about last week. Excited for Sase, less excited for Naniwa.
Sure. They did get an official write-up on the Blizzard website this week, though.
Yes. Yeah, you can go check that out.
Now, of course, as a bit of a drama king, or a drama queen, some might say, I have been looking at, keeping my ear to the various opinions of the internet this past week. And I'm interested to hear your take on it, because I know you don't quite follow, Blizzard forums very well, because it's an absolute den of scum and villainy.
It's a cesspool.
Yeah. It's where the YouTube comments started. So this past week, there's been a lot of discussion about how these players are completely unproven, and also how can there be teams in an alpha when there isn't enough room or competition for players to get in and take these spots from them. And in fact, Blizzard is supporting this further by having this tournament with already established players calling themselves pro in a game that's not yet released.
I think that they were pros in any game, therefore, at the very least, more, I don't know, qualified for hype. Like, these are guys that know how to train and strategize. And well, in some cases, if they're from a LoL team, they know how to work as a team. If they're from a StarCraft team, probably I might agree with you a little more.
It's actually pretty interesting to read the Team Liquid write-up for their team on Team Liquid. The Blizzard one is a lot more official and more, congratulatory.
It's fluffy.
And,
it's fluffy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Team Liquid actually did a write-up about the notable teams in Heroes at the moment, not even in reference to the BlizzCon tournament. Basically opening with, hey, the BlizzCon tournament's coming up, so people are starting to take notice of Heroes. However, there's already tournaments going on, and there's already some established teams, so here you go. We're going to break them down for you. And I really recommend everyone go and read that article because I think you get the real meat and potatoes there.
Well, and with the Team Liquid announcement, they put up an entirely different article where they interviewed Sheth a bit. And it was real interesting to see his perspective on having to deal with people. And not only their opinions, like these opinions matter so much more now. In the past, with StarCraft, you can do something like, that's a good suggestion. I'll take it into consideration because no matter what happens, it's all me up there.
Yeah.
But in this case,
that's a good point. And when you think about your star players who are known for their egos, for lack of a better word, like your Naniwas, like your Idras, can you imagine how much more that plays in this type of scenario when you actually have to you're affecting the play of 4 other players?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I wonder how much it helps or hurts. Because
I think they're able to take criticism better. It's just a whole new world of it. And ultimately, there are those times where, someone may need to be completely kicked or just it doesn't work with the format of the team. Someone can be the best drummer in the world. We already have a drummer. So we're good.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't know. I mean, to say, well, there's just no reason to get excited for this at all because these guys are improving. You're not giving them enough credit. These are guys that have done this professionally and they know how to train for these type of things. So they're gonna bring more to it than some newcomer who's never experienced this before.
And to it, I say, Blizzard's doing the best job they can with the information they had, and this is their game designers and their event planning team are clearly 2 completely different people. And I understand completely when event planners make these sort of choices.
Well, and I don't think Blizzard is, I don't believe that they're trying to sell this tournament as anything that it's not. There's not money up for the grabs that I'm aware of. It's not on the level of StarCraft's WCS or the WoW Arena Finals or the Hearthstone World Championship. There hasn't been a thing going on all year. There's not a massive prize pool at the end of this maze. This is just really for bragging rights. This is to show off the game, and they're being very forward with that. If you read the write-ups, even though it's fluffy in its PR language, they even say, "Hey, it's for bragging rights and for fun and to show off." Players who are known for giving it their all and going for their opponent's throats, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, people who are getting up in a huff because they're not really pros because the game hasn't been around that long. Shut up! They want to show off their new game. How else would you rather? Well, we threw darts into the pool of the Tech Alpha players, and this is our team. Is there a better way to do it? Because please, in the middle of all your bitching, feel free to give me a better idea of how to do it.
I think the only mistake they made along this path was that they had the devs and YouTube invites game happen first, and then they kind of made the announcement. And then after that, things get real serial with the teams that come out and battle. And people are concerned, I think, that their homegrown team isn't going to be able to compete with a already pre-sponsored, pre-funded team. And frankly, as long as the tournaments can foster those sort of people, that's simply not true. I'm hoping we have a scene like MLG where people can show up day of, compete, and maybe even end up on the stage by the end of the night if they're good enough.
Listen, if this game is going to have a serious esports following, a serious esports community, that is going to happen. And you don't need to worry about Blizzard's show tournament at BlizzCon making or breaking the existence of open tournaments.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, look at last year's Hearthstone tournament for example. It was nothing but just personalities chosen to come and play. People we know. We had Day 9, we had Artosis, we had, and some of them have continued to be pro Hearthstone players. Obviously, Trump went. Trump is still a notable player. Crip, but a lot of them. I mean, Husky went and just got beat down. He had a pirate deck. It was hysterical.
If I had a Pee Wee Herman clap or a bell I could ring, I was just waiting for Husky. Go, come on.
Yeah, I know I rip on him, but it's just my example. I'm not. It wasn't bad. It was fun to watch. It was a brand new game. We wanted to see it displayed in some form. So why not have people playing that you recognize? I'm gonna care a little less if it's just some guy that you pulled in off of the con floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
And I don't know.
Oh, and people want to see this game showcased in a way that is supportive of modern attitudes, which is pro players. It was interesting. I was talking with Anthony. What's Dismal Jester, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Real ID friend, so I use his first name now. But it was interesting because I was talking with him about where the game is right now, and he was saying he can't wait for the meta. And I'm like, are you insane? Like, I love this right now. Everything's, ingenuity. It's ideas that I come up with and I apply. And for him, it was not so much that, the meta is something that you can then research. And when you're a very analytical person, you can break it down and then make yourself better off of it. And that just really blew my mind. And it's cool that we can have both sort of people, one that learn from the scene and ones that, embrace nothing but almost the mechanics of the game to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that can exist even late into the game. Obviously, I think, a year from now, when there's an established meta, if you're completely ignoring it, you're probably not going to play as well as someone else.
Oh, no, yeah. But give it 2 years, give it 3 years. I mean, Anthony's going to be schooling me with basic counters because I'm thinking I'm a total badass with some build I came up with
some
last night at
incredibly
3 a.m.
flavorful build.
Exactly.
It's just like, I just watched all the cinematics in Diablo, and I made this Tyrael build because he's an angelic champion.
According to the boss that I just fight, this is the build I should... You mean that boss that I've killed about 100 times for loot? Maybe I shouldn't do this build. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to hurt, the esports scene to have teams that may not be here in a year. It certainly didn't hurt Hearthstone because almost none of the players who made it far in the tournament last year are in the World Championship this year.
Very true.
It's fine. It all works itself out in the end. And Blizzard has always been very vocal about the fact that they really see esports as something that the community drives, and that they just support. They just add a support layer to it, but they don't feel the need to take the reins.
Let's face it, they're humans too. As popular as their games may be, they still probably, go to bed at night thinking, man, I hope this game's good. I really hope people enjoy it. And so I would definitely, if I were a developer of a video game, I'd probably go, if you guys want an esport, make it happen. I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket because I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, no, I get that. Anyways, while we're also talking esports, just a quick shout out. Clairvoyant Gaming is apparently looking for a specialist to join their professional team. And they have an application over at clairvoyantgaming.com/application.html. So if you fancy yourself a superbly skilled specialist, head over there and apply. And good luck to you, and good luck to them. Hope they find someone good. Anywho. Before we move on to strategy, I just want to take this time to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/ITN, which is the reason there's no ads at the top of the show anymore. Thank you guys very, very much. We're up to like $3.50 a month over there. It really helps out the show a lot. And if you like the show and you want to opt in to subscribe, the show will always be free. But if you want to help us out a little bit, you can go over to patreon.com/ITN and subscribe to Into the Nexus.
If you think the show is badass enough for a quarter a week, then you should support us because, well, I think it is. And this is episode 25. Are there 50? How many weeks are there in a year? Have we done half a year already?
52, sir. Usually.
Oh my goodness! So 1 week more, and we'll be doing a full half a year.
Yeah, it's nuts. So it still feels like I just started this darn show.
Well, I think the alpha kind of helps with that.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Well, the alpha's been running for... Has it really been running for almost 6 months?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
That's got to be the longest. Well, probably not the longest alpha they've ever had, sure. But if we combine it with the eventual beta, it is going to be a long test session.
Yep. Of course, if the beta at some point goes open beta, it's pretty much just a live game with a asterisk.
Yes.
So I'm okay with that.
With a "Don't be mad, please" button.
Yep. You can pay us money, but just know something might possibly happen. So, anyways, let's talk about this week's strategies.
Choose a talent.
Choose a talent.
Talent? Ah, that seems generous.
I have a PhD in PvP.
This week, Kyle, you wanted to talk about one of your favorite things to do in these new free-to-play Blizzard game, which is be a free-to-play player. And how
Take
to
advantage of the system.
and how to do it correctly, and specifically with a bent on gold, and how to accrue it, and best ways to spend it.
Yeah, so you have your player level, and then you have the individual levels for every single hero, and various levels earn you different amounts of gold. Different heroes cost different amounts. You have your very, very bottom of the barrel heroes, which are going to cost you about 2,000. These are your Rainers, your Muradins, characters that they have decided are entry level. On top of that, you have 4,000 gold heroes, and these seem like extremely core heroes, like your Vala, like your Tassadar, which I think they just kind of want to fill out the game with. At 7,000, this is about the standard, have been in the game for quite a while, not so heavy on the bells and whistles. Your Diablos, your, I believe Kerrigan is now down to 7,000. And then at 10,000, you have characters that are specialists, Abathurs, Nazebos, Witch Doctor. And at 15,000, you're brand spanking new. You probably shouldn't spend gold on it because it's going to go down in 2 weeks. Heroes like Azmodan and Anubarak.
Yeah, so unless you're just drowning in gold, which doesn't look like is going to be a problem anyone's going to have anytime soon, yeah, just wait.
Well, and for your cash to gold ratio, and all I can think of is bad commercials at the moment.
Oh, man, that's, yeah.
You'd be better off spending any money you have on those brand new heroes or something like a Chen that's only been out for a couple weeks, because the amount of money you spend to the gold ratio at 10,000 is just that much better. According to their system, Azmodan and Anubarak are going to go down next week, but we'll see if they stick to that. We're also still, seeing what happens in another 3 weeks, according to their 4 to 6 week schedule on releasing another hero, which we're not sure what that one is at the moment. Anyway. So level 4, you get 1,000 gold. Level 8, these are account levels. You get 2,000 gold. And level 10, you get another 2,000 gold. That's 5,000 golds just by leveling up to level 10, which is real quick and easy to do. But after that, there's no more gold for leveling your account. So you've gotten yourself a nice, core hero. I picked Tassadar because, well, at the time, there were very few supports in the game. It was a very fast queue time, and it's a hero that I like, so why not? It's a great person to level with. You get up to level 15, you're unlocking additional slots, additional heroes per week, getting up eventually to 6 free-to-play rotation heroes a week. And what you need to do to make gold is every time you reach level 5 on a hero, you get 500 gold. So guess what? You get your account to level 15, that's 6 heroes, get yourself to 500, you've got yourself 3,000 gold. Right now in the game, outside of daily quests, to make gold, getting level 5 on heroes is the fastest way to do it. And there are 31 heroes in the game, which equals 15,500 gold, which will buy you a Azmodan. Oh, crap.
Yeah, you've got daily quests,
Sure, daily quests, you play a hero type, whether it be a franchise, Warcraft, Diablo, whatever, or win 3 games, which seems to be the hardest one. You might as well do it in, playing against computers just to get it out of the way. We'll get you 600 gold. And that's a pretty substantial amount. And if you do your daily quests, over the course of the week, you're going to, earn yourself a couple thousand. The win 3 games is kind of a rare one to get. A lot like Hearthstone, the bigger money ones where you have to win 5 games are a lot rarer to receive than you're going to get your 3 wins on Hunter guy.
Right. Yeah, your 40 gold quests versus your 60 gold quests.
But in the past, we saw that the gold per game was a lot higher. Right now, if you win or you lose a game, you're getting about 20 to 30 gold per match, which is not too much. And if you're looking at the number of 15,500, you're picking heroes pretty sparingly. However, this does add some value to the actual free-to-play rotation because I found myself really enjoying leveling up all my heroes to 5 this past week to get that gold.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even really think about playing it like that. Granted, I am the guy that is kind of known for I really want this. Screw it. Here's my money.
Sure. Well, you are the target audience for the free-to-play market.
for these games, for good games. If it's on a phone, chances are I just don't play it. If you kind of...
Well, sure. You also don't, ride the bus or the train or anything like that. So those games
true.
Drop in value.
Yeah, I'd rather spend, my $15 on FTL and just have an actual game to play as opposed to some kind of freaking coin machine. Anyways, that's a topic for a whole nother show on a whole nother day. Really, the moral of the story is don't spend that 15,000 gold, wait the 2 weeks for whatever that hero is to drop down to 10. Because otherwise you're looking at 10,000, 7,000, and 4,000 as your 3 different levels of heroes.
Exactly. You're not going to be able to get too much very quickly with the free-to-play method. Over the couple of weeks it's going to take, so I'm calculating 31. I'm going to divide by 7 because I don't feel like doing it in my head. So you got 4 weeks, really, about 4.5 weeks that's going to take you to circle through all the heroes. And if you really put in the time to level up all 6 heroes to 5, you'll be done getting all the free-to-play gold there is in that 4.5 weeks outside of daily quests.
Right.
So, but that also, to me, means that I can pick and choose the heroes that I really, really want. And then the side heroes like Zagara, sometimes I am just, I've got to play Zagara. So much fun, seeing the Zerg, seeing the creep. Great time had by all. But maybe not a hero I want to own, actually. Because every 4 weeks, I'll get to play her for a full week, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, except you just mentioned the hero. I'm just like, oh, really? Her and Nova, I'm just like, I kind of just want to drop the money. I really want to play them. I think I have to buy one of them. I haven't even checked how much gold I have at the moment.
That's what they're banking on for you.
Oh, yeah, I know. These are just the noises I make when I look at these heroes.
This does mean, though, that things like Master Skin, or if for some reason you bought that pig mount that cost 10,000 gold, are a lot more valuable. Because those cannot be bought with any sort of cash. They're only available through gold. So, hey, if you're a big fan of Tychus, get him for 4,000 and buy, get every hero to level 5 and spend your 15,000 getting him and then getting his Master Skin. And you're out of gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think about that. I forgot about Master Skins. That's rough. But I mean, I don't know. I like it. It's gamified. It gives me something to push for. I'm kind of excited to just slowly over time build up more and more of my heroes roster.
Sure, and to counter people who say, wow, this sounds a lot like a grind, I'm only playing heroes that I personally want to. I skipped Lily, who was free to play this past week. Just adding to the hate train I apologize. I did play a lot of Stitches.
I appreciate it a little bit because everyone's just like, oh, Gary, you just hate Lily so much. Like, you don't get it. No, Kyle hates her too. He just doesn't mention it.
I don't mind. Like I've said, I don't mind seeing her on my team. I personally don't find her interesting enough. I love combos, though. So I'm a dude who, loves building up that giant push or really blowing all that man in one big kill. Whereas Lily doesn't really do that for me. So, but yet, I'm hoping that my one hope, and to counter people who are saying this is a grind, which you can't think of it, sure, but I've played WoW in BC. I know what a grind is. And I also know how mentally to avoid it and still have fun. Or say, I'm done with, whatever game it is, I'm moving on with my life. I'm hoping that they add more of a trophy system or something that makes me feel like I own the hero on top of just having it available. Maybe my opening screen shows them as a little action figure or something.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get achievements at some point. There's no way that's not coming. And I could see that totally showing up in your profile and seeing some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like what Dota has, where you have your spotlighted hero.
Right,
when
it's your
someone views
profile.
your
People
profile.
click on you and they see what you're a badass about.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking like the way Super Smash Bros. Did achievements with the little figurines on the table you could go view once in a while. Just something outside of seeing the menu. You know, you see the little free-to-play rotation thing over their head, but that extra level of like, you know, click this button to only see the heroes that you've bought and kind of, you know, tool around with them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my only request in this case. This is a system. I'm happy to play into it because I am playing a badass game 100% for free. I just want to have a little bit more ownership over those things that I choose to unlock.
That's fine. I wouldn't be against that system, but I don't know. I'd rather see more in-game, more time spent on in-game stuff. I'd rather see more heroes and more battlegrounds than weird little trophy things.
Sure. Yeah, put the time where it's due, certainly.
Yeah.
Make the game fun first and then reward me later.
Exactly. But I would not be against that either. You know, getting right now on the splash screen is Azmodan and Anubarak. Wouldn't mind if, you know, you won 200 games as Arthas. Your splash screen is now Arthas if you so choose. Like,
yeah,
come in.
that'd be sweet.
It's just
you get
awesome.
a little profile picture when you reach a certain hero level. You unlock skins as you go too. I mean, level 5 comes really fast.
Yeah. I've got my red lizard man mount thing for Arthas.
Your battle beast.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that battle beast is in game now. Mainly so my big fat characters aren't punishing some poor horse.
That rainbow pony thing we got just looks horrifying on Stitches. Like when Stitches are running, I'm just like, oh, I feel so bad for that thing.
It is nothing but a goat head squeeze between those thighs.
Yep.
And I am so sorry, Mr. Goat Pony Sparkle thing. It looks great on Vala, though. I mean,
Sparkle Pony.
And in fact, it's almost, you know, I may even say a slight balance issue with some of the stealthier characters because it reduces their size.
I don't know.
Not the worst thing. I mean, they could just not be mounted up, and they're even smaller than they were before.
Right. And that's what I'm used to, you know, seeing.
Yeah, trying to spot. It's pretty obvious, the slight ripple motion. Your eye catches on to it pretty quickly.
I've seen Predator enough times to notice these things. Just saying. Just saying. I am going out like Apollo Creed, okay?
We just need a push-the-button splash mechanic on the map that puts some water everywhere.
Mud.
Or a nice mud pile
Mud,
to swim around in.
Yeah. Anywho.
Idea.
Let's take some emails.
Darkness stopped calling.
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
Okay, tell them I'm not here.
You can send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our first one today comes to us from Josh from Illinois, who writes, "Hey guys, I'm sure Blizzard already has their mindset and knows they will make tons of money. But don't you feel that high quality skins and mounts that they should go the Dota 2 model where all heroes are available and we spend money on everything else? Love the show and learning to play my first MOBA because I am a Blizzard fanboy and trust them. Thanks for your time." Kyle, I'll let you take this one first.
So that they should go the Dota model of all heroes being free, but we get and unlock over the course of games little tiny pieces of outfits. Because let me tell you, you look at those, you know, skins and you think $15, are they insane? Not at all. I'm looking right here that the Demon Eater Shadow Fiend set on the Dota website, $34.99.
Now, I don't like comparing, you know, to established games if I don't have to. But Josh has forced my hand. Yes,
He asked for it.
I would absolutely prefer the Dota 2 model. And I disagree with you to a point, Kyle, because the skins are still quite pricey in Heroes, and all of the heroes are not. You don't have them unlocked. In Dota, the skins can be a little more expensive because you know what? I can play any of these 100+ heroes at any point, whenever I want. Now my teammates are going to suffer as a result.
Right. That was about to be my counterpoint.
But I don't feel artificially restricted as a player.
Sure. The idea of how you play free to play in Dota, though, with skins is outrageous because just think of, you know, how items work in Diablo and WoW. Like you've got gloves and boots and hats and backpacks and, you know, wing sets and whatever it may be. a taunt set. Like all these things over the course of games are dropped to you individually. Among the 100 or so heroes that are available in Dota, you have a very slight chance to maybe get a set of boots for one of those characters that you may not even play.
That's a good point, and that needs to be mentioned when comparing these two, because that is the other thing. It's just kind of like, well, all 100 plus heroes are free to play, and they're giving away their paid content. Granted, it's a drip feed. It's like you said, a very low chance at the end of an hour-long game.
Right.
But I don't know. It's still, for some reason, it just seems a little more righteous, like, for lack of a better word.
I mean, there certainly is a certain seduction with the idea of Dota items that I could buy a full set. And granted, the one I just highlighted is kind of a bad example. I grabbed like the coolest, the newest, and the most graphically intensive item that is currently available. Something that changes very little about the character. Like, let's grab Phantom Assassin. Mm-hmm. She normally attacks with one hand at a time. Well, this set makes her have a scythe, and it is $11. So, the animations change. You're paying for that, but you're also paying for the set that comes with it.
Yeah. Now, all this being said, having really had a lot of time to enjoy Heroes, apparently 6 months, now that it's horrifying to think of, I'm fine with it. It seems natural. They've done a really good job with the system. I have a few minor gripes here and there, but honestly, I like it. They've done a really good job gamifying it. It gives me something to work for. There's a lot of things to unlock. There's a lot of things you can get for free. So I really can't complain. There are much worse free-to-play experiences out there.
Well, this is one of the strongest decisions they had to make to put out the game in the first place. I mean, you can compare it to Dota and other systems too, but like Dota had Steam in the first place. Blizzard's Battle.net is not quite as eloquent, nor did they, completely drop a third game that is never going to come out to make it, being Half-Life.
Gotcha.
But there is an entire workforce of people who have made it their lives and their full professions to make items and sets for this game. Whereas Blizzard has made the choice to do this all in-house, which means, you're probably paying for the developers on top of that. You're not getting as many, wacky side sets, the constant flow of content that there is, but the quality, I think, will ultimately be better. And you won't have your back staff continually ghosting in the ground every time you take a step.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the quality, that's a good thing to bring up, is the quality. Not saying that Dota 2 is subpar. I think it's one of the greatest games ever made. But there's you can see it in each of these skins. There's like a care and a love there.
Yeah, exactly.
That is undeniable. So, of course, I would love all of the heroes to just be free and unlocked, but
sure,
I don't think they've gone about it a bad way.
No, not at all. And the only problem that I can possibly find with their current system is that the try button, while it allows you to get a feel for everything they have and certainly showcases everything that you have, you own Arthas absolutely every time. You're given a mouth in the trial mode. You go into the shop, you click try. You can try on any skin and play it in the game, walk around with it and take a look at it, hear how the voice is different. You're given a Malfurion, first of all, who is constantly healing you and giving you free mana. And you're fighting the dumbest Arthas on the planet in a single lane combat.
Right.
You feel like a badass no matter what you do on this planet. And the one thing that could bother me is because right now I have not played Azmodan in a true capacity. I'm upset for the sake of the show that I can't get in for, and try out some heroes till they become free to play in their week. But also, what if I made that purchase and suddenly in the non-badass perfect world, I hate this guy? I mean, there are plenty of times I'm playing with you or Ben or someone else where they'll be like, man, this is my first time on blank. I am so in love with blank. And my first thought is, try him when you're losing. And if you can still enjoy him while you're losing, you've got yourself a hero you can really latch on to.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would love it if the try mode was at the very least, a full-fledged battleground with nothing but AI.
Or, maybe, I don't know, they'd have to take away quests or do something to get rid of cooperative, which is where you just play with other people and then against computers. they'd have to somehow decrease maybe the difficulty or something, have some sort of other side method. But getting in with other players and seeing how the real game works before making that purchase seems important.
I agree. I don't I don't really like the try mode. I feel like I learned nothing from it.
Right, other than what stuff looks like,
Yeah.
which is real sweet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I really like his animation set, but I don't feel like I actually know how to play him when I leave.
Yeah, and maybe some cool combos. You have ideas for when you first get in there, but ultimately it doesn't give you a true feeling of that. And that's something that, with the Dota system, you played a lot with the hero. You're finally ready to invest something to make yourself stand out.
Agreed. I like that. Chris M. also wrote in this week and said, hey guys, I just recently found your show and I've been enjoying it. You're both entertaining and informative, so thanks for that. Well, thank you for the kind words, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
My question is about Gazlo. What are your thoughts on him? So far, he is my go-to guy. I just don't see many people playing him, but I think he is so versatile since he can solo any of the minion camps, or he can go a more anti-hero route and kill everything with a bunch of turrets and the combo of Explodium charges and the Gravel Bomb 3000. The most powerful ultimate in the game, in my opinion.
It's powerful.
Just curious what your take on him is. Thanks for the podcast and keep up the good work. I like Gazlo. He's not my style, but I like him. I like having him on my team. Playing against him can be quite a pain.
Oh, yes, it can.
I think he's a solid hero. I think they did a really good job with him. He feels if they really got the essence of what this Tinkerer should feel like.
I would be so all over this hero, except for he's a goblin, and I don't want to play as some greasy little New Yorker.
You don't like goblins, huh?
I'm not a fan. Like honestly, I love auto turrets across all games. If you tell me that and a passive chance to shoot a fireball out of your butt every 5 seconds, I go yes. Why not? I don't have to click anything. I am contributing to the team. I've said multiple times that Venomancer is my Dota character, and that's, other than badass poison damage, I love wards. And, his rocket turrets really do that. And there are so many things you can do to just annoy the crap out of people. Like giving your turrets the ability to slow is frustrating. 25% for 2 seconds. And you're trying to zero in about 3 of these things stacked on top of each other while some Gazlo is shooting you with a giant laser. It hurts.
Yeah, it does. Granted, I've had very little issue getting out of the Gravel Bomb. But when I do get hit by it, it is devastating.
Well, it's that combo of doing the Gravel Bomb, then doing the Explodium charge that gets you the pull and the stun right on top of each other. When I do get hit by this, it's usually because I've made a mistake. I'm doing something I shouldn't, which is probably like crowding in front of a gate while wailing on a wall. First of all, you should never, ever do that, ever, because there's probably someone on the other team that can take advantage of it. Hint, hint, I love doing it on Diablo, picking people up over the wall and slamming them back. They can't get back. They can't get out of there. It's such good fun. You're getting hit by ice beams and stuff. Can't run away.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Robo Goblin's cool, for devastating some Merc camps real fast. I mean, if there is one true Merc hero in this game, it is Gazlo.
Yeah.
And in fact, you can see into Zebo, you can see some of these other Merc heroes. Azmodan isn't quite there yet, but I think in time he will be. You see a Gazlo on the other team and you go, we got to watch these things because we could just get overrun and zoned out, which is really the problem.
Yeah. I really like, Dota Talk, he really feels like a jungler.
Yeah.
More than really any other hero.
They've done a lot to stop jungling, from the get-go. They want you in lane at least till level 4 right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's level 7 when you get the Mercenary Lord ability where you can upgrade them. And this thing is so powerful. 50% increased damage to Siege Giants and 50% increased health to Knights. That is wonderfully distributed. That's the way it should be. And those Giants destroy.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone up against them many times. And I've actually seen a lot of Gazlo this week. I can't remember. Is he in the free-to-play rotation or something?
He is this week.
Okay. I'm about to say, because I've seen a ton of Gazlo this week. And Chris, I'm curious how soon you got into the game. Because, man, that little New Yorker, greasy New Yorker, as Kyle so ineloquently put it. is all over the place.
I'm not saying New Yorkers are greasy. I'm just saying that this particular goblin happens to be from New York, and he is greasy.
Yeah, I have no interest in playing goblins in WoW, where it's like a character I'm attached to and going to spend many hours with building and creating. But I'm fine with them there in here. I love the flavor of goblins in the world of Warcraft, for not trying to make a weird play on words there. But yeah, I really dig on goblins, and I think the voice actor does a bang up job with Gaslow in Heroes of the Storm. So
he does. He's a lot of fun. If there's a couple things that I get out my wallet and rub it on the screen yelling "Take my money," it's for a Diablo 3 Diablo skin, but also a Diablo version, much like they did for Zagara, making her the sort of scorpion demon princess that they did. I would love a Diablo version of Gaslow.
Oh, where he's like a treasure goblin or something?
Yeah, just take away the goblin for me, and I'm there 100%.
You be an imp, give me a treasure goblin, give me just some random demon. I don't care.
Sure, make that backpack the big old bag of gold, and I'm set. Like, I just love the turrets, and I think his regen ability, his passive, where he can scrap his turrets to get some of the mana back, and you can even augment to give you some health and some additional regen. Like, that's a really cool mechanic, and it allows him to have this unique, really low regen. I mean, you start with 3 regen as this guy, but you get 0.09 regen per level. You get nothing. At level 10, you've gotten yourself one extra regen. It's insane. But that mechanic is just real creative.
Yeah, it is. No, I'm just trying to think. I was like, they could make him covetous Shen, and the robot on his back could just be the barrel you find him in.
Oh, that'd be pretty cute.
And his turrets are gems that shoot little gems.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Sign me up. Oh, God, I would buy that tomorrow.
But really, they should make a covetous Chen skin.
Oh, because
he's already rolling around in the barrel.
He already rolls around. Okay, all right. And then he, when he splits, it's all different, gem colors.
Yeah.
Like the red, purple, green, or whatever. Oh, man. Why aren't we?
Why aren't we on the design team is what I'm asking. Man, Chen. I avoided that topic this week, but whew, there's one dude that I'm just irked by this week. It's him up in my business.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like Nova, whatever, I'll learn to deal with it. I applaud you newcomers learning how to play. But Chen is just hurting. All invincible and then he's got the mana back to jump in your face again.
Yeah, it's tough. I haven't seen any of him this week, though, personally. In the games we played together, I haven't seen him, so we'll just have to. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think he's okay. He is a bit infuriating to play against, but it ain't no thing. Anywho, I think that'll do it for this week. Again, send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. I think we're catching up on our inbox again, so if you want to comment on anything we talked about this week, something completely different, submit a story, questions, comments, whatever, itncast@gmail.com. To our patrons, again, thank you very much over at patreon.com/ITN. This week I wanted to thank Rob J. And I believe we're caught up on thanking our patrons. So, again, if you really like what we're doing over here, head on over to patreon.com/ITN, where you can opt in to subscribe for whatever you'd like. Subscribe for $1 a month, subscribe for $10 a month. A lot of other shows do it per episode, by the way. We do it per month. So, feel free to support us if you want. If you don't, that's totally fine, too. Into Nexus.
Our loss, your gain. Patreon.com.
What?
Oh, just because you said it's once a month. Most shows do more than once a month.
Oh, well, no, I think it's worth noting. I mean,
yeah.
So.
No, what's there? I mean, that. Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, it's flattering that you all have taken the time, one, to even click on a link that we give you. That's enough to ask of people on the internet right now. But to sign up there and support this show, it really has been awesome. And thank you so much for those who have already signed up as patrons.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just as we've been podcasting together for a long time now, and this is a relatively new tool.
Yeah.
And it's weird and crazy and awesome. So, thank you very much, everyone. No new iTunes reviews this week, so if you listen to us on iTunes and you like our show, leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Helps out the show a lot. And as always, Into the Nexus is produced by amove.tv and our Patreon producer, Declan H. Thank you very much, Declan. You can see more about this and all of the other amove shows at amove.tv. Our email is itncast@gmail.com. The forums are over at forum.amove.tv. Don't forget, you can /join space amove TV. That's AMOVE TV. In the game Heroes of the Storm to enter the amove chat room. I tried it out this week. It is working.
It is
Huzzah.
working, but you cannot see who is in there, nor how many people are in there, or any other features of the chat itself.
It is a bit rough, but I've been chatting to some people this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for your kind words. Met some really, really nice fans in there. So get in there, group up, do some, get rid. You don't need a pub. Find some friends in the amove chat room and just own face.
Well, we haven't mentioned this, but you get 50% more XP when you're with a friend in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure we mentioned it at some point.
Well,
but,
yeah, probably a month ago. Wait, 6 months ago. No.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, check that out. Check out the live show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/amovetv or on the mobile live stream at alphageekradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at ITNcast. Check out Brian Griffith, the musician who made our intro music, at briangriffithmusic.com. Kyle, where can folks find you when you're not doing Into the Nexus?
You can find me on AMove Radio, which now records every other Friday. So look forward to that. This week, we're going to be hitting a whole lot of questions on making podcasts, producing content online, and talking about that sort of thing. So that should be a good rundown there. You can check out KyleFerguson.com, where I do voiceover work. And I will soon be posting something I can't quite talk about yet, but it is a Halloween radio drama. And
Ooh.
I got to pretend that my memories were slowly being eaten by a horrible darkness. And it was a delight, and I scared the crap out of Kristen as I screamed my guts out in this very room.
If nobody has had the fortune to have Kyle Ferguson DM your role-playing game, you do not understand how amazing this man's voices are.
Thank you.
They are a thing of pure and utter beauty.
It was DMing that made me consider the career in the first place.
Oh man, your voices are absurd and great and memorable. I will never forget the door that talked.
Well, I won't ruin the illusion for you. I've totally used him before. He's a fun voice.
It's fine. I'm okay. I don't care.
Portcullis is his name.
Portcullis. I love Portcullis then. Portcullis is my hero.
So check out KyleFerguson.com and follow me over at Twitter at Kyle Ferguson.
1 R, 2 S's.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. There you go. 1 G. Like this S is the only thing you're doubled up on. You can find me also on Twitter over at Garrett Art. There's 2 R's and 2 T's in Garrett. 1 T in Art. Just FYI. A lot of people spell Garrett with 1 T. I see it all the time. I didn't even bother with my last name because I know it's a fool's errand. Also, check out nomoonart.com for my graphic design portfolio, as well as there's a form there, so you can contact me if you need a freelance artist. And check out The Angry Chicken, a Hearthstone podcast. Kyle already mentioned AMove Radio. That's about it for me. And also check out doghousesystems.com and tweakedaudio.com. The code to use when you go to those websites is ITN. That code will get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig, as well as 30% off and free shipping off of your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from tweakedaudio.com. Truly the only thing I look forward to when it comes to working out is putting those things in my ear and blasting whatever I can find to take my mind off the fact that I am running for no reason. I've been running for a while.
Oh,
I hate it, but it works.
Weightlift, man, you're losing the gains.
I'm just worried about how much sitting I do, dude. I just want to get my legs moving. Even though jogging does kind of drive me nuts. Anywho, check them out. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week for episode 26 of Into the Nexus. Until then, good luck and have fun.
Take care.